Hello everyone, this is Tripper. We're casting a scrim between Legion and Hyperion, and right now they're having a kendo, currently between King Lapu and Medi, starting them off with fists. Fantastically enough, I've got here with me Height of Absurdity. Height.
Hello.
How fantastic art thou?
I'm doing quite fantastic. Very happy to be here, casting with my favorite Tripper.
You are quite my favorite. Well, the action has already begun. Medi actually getting that first kill with the fist, but it looks like these guys are railing out these fists as long as they can. With Infrangible Crunk, who is in fact Stinker, taking down Medi, but now he is just wailing on Cervantes, not letting up for a moment. Cervantes taking a ton of damage, however, getting a punch out finally. Never see fist kendos, ever. I've never actually seen one. Beautiful.
Yeah, fist kendos are actually a little bit interesting, because fists are unique in that the damage type that they do mirrors other damage types. So if you're looking at a man-at-arms, it'll do the equivalent of cut damage. If you go to a vanguard or a knight, though, it does the equivalent of blunt damage. And if you look at archers, it does the equivalent of blunt damage too. So it's just interesting that it's one of the very few damage types where fist is its own damage type. That actually does more damage to MAAs than other classes.
Very interesting factoid. And now we've got Pills just salting the field here with his fist, but not going to happen. Charles, however, very, very blooded by Pills' flail. Shout looking for that panic parry, but he's not going to find it. He's going to have to dig
Shout
deep.
swapping that secondary because it's so easy to get that much faster short sword feint and get that little bit of damage to finish Charles off. But doesn't happen when you're being a whisper and being a loser. Works for pop though.
Very nice pop. Yeah, that poke, that last hit poke, that's all he needs. And now we've got a fork versus spear battle here. Should be fun.
The spear does outrange the fork, and so it's gonna get the benefit of the initiation on these.
And the final
pop
hit,
goes
very
down.
nice. Yeah, I would have expected the spear to win out just by virtue of that range.
As you can tell, this is the most serious of kendos.
Oh, absolutely. I can tell quite well. All hell has broken loose. Order has fallen apart. We just have fighting everywhere of various degrees of seriousness. Someone got killed by a throwing axe over yonder. And we've got these two guys, Shout and Cervantes, just duking it out. Shout finally taking out Cervantes. And then we have some team damage from Shout and Pop. Oh, Lord.
I don't even know. Did Phoenix win? I think
I think Phoenix won.
Wins.
Yeah,
I think Phoenix won.
I think we can all just go home, say Phoenix won. Tempest won the tourney. Or, no, I'm sorry. The Tempest lost the first round, and then Legion, wanting to one-up Fauscher, actually forfeited even before the second match began. So. Best tournament 2016. Hype.
Second only to the one where Bellator was the only team that showed up.
I was not there for that.
I know, because you weren't in Bellator.
Oh!
I'm kidding. That'd be hilarious if that actually.
That's actually beautiful. That would be great. There's a tournament. Look, we've got it all set up. We've got casters, refs, everything, and all of like 3 teams show up, and that is Tempest, Phoenix, Legion. It's like, okay, well, I guess we'll just do it.
No, we have strict time slots. This time slot is for this EQ versus Knights of the Seventh Circle.
EQ, fourth Legion, Killa, triple team. Can't even do that because it's not Deadliest Warrior. That is not me saying that we need a Deadliest Warrior game, though, by any means. I mean, although there is a comp for Deadliest Warrior. I don't know much about it, though.
There is a bit of one. So now we can start, now that they're going to be loading in the map, Stoneshill. This is a map that I know yesterday when Hyperion and LG played on it, Hyperion breezed through the attacking objective, 16 minutes left when they got to the king.
Wow.
But they couldn't kill the king. And LG killed the king with like either 4 or 6 minutes left.
I have been seeing in recent scrims a lot of really, really solid defense at the king objective, and actually a little bit of talk on competitive teams that maybe it's a bit too strong for competitors, defenders. What do you think about that, Height?
Well, yeah, I think that when individuals classically point to Stoneshill as one of the 2 most balanced competitive maps, the last objective is always a doozy because, number one, it's 0 progress, so it's either an all or nothing, which is never that great for competitive. But the second thing is teams have optimized the strategy of strong pushes into the courtyard to really halt the attackers. When you get those instant advances and you're coming through, it's important that you also rush through the top 2 entrances if you can, just to make sure that the other team doesn't go over you if you go through the middle entrance. But if you do those things, then you can really stall out King Objective for like 16 minutes, like LG just did yesterday versus Hyperion.
Yeah, you can have an absolutely ironclad defense on that final objective of Stoneshill if you know exactly what to do, definitely.
Yeah, the great things about Stoneshill, though, come primarily in this first objective, and to some degree the second objective. The first objective matters less to the big scheme of things, just because of how quick it is and how much more of a sure thing it is compared to other things. So you only see maybe a variation between 4 minutes between a good time and a mediocre, even crappy time. Whereas the second objective, there's lots more places where you can get holed up, or you could go a lot faster. So there's a lot less variation in this first objective, but it's just so dynamic. All the different ways that you can go, all the different approaches, and specifically, not many teams know how to play defense on Stoneshill very well for this objective.
Yeah, I've absolutely seen that on the first objective. A lot of teams will end up losing it within the first 3 or 4 minutes simply because they focus far too much on a single approach. They focus too much on the mid or the rock, when in reality they should split their forces somewhat, because that's what the attacking team is most likely doing, as an attacking split is by far the most effective way to attack on this map. Would you not agree?
I agree. Attacking splits are very strong, especially in team comps that have man-at-arms. Although you're looking at a team comp over on Hyperion that won't have any man-at-arms, and possibly not on Legion. Although, of course, if this were, if Chrysomatic were playing, then they would for sure be having an AA here, and I'm sure Hyperion, maybe they're lacking somebody else from their A squad. Although I wouldn't be able to tell who that is. That looks more or less like their A squad. Who besides Captain Schmidt? They'd probably put Lemon. But it looks like the match is starting.
Yep, that it is. Here is the scoreboard and the rosters.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Height.
This is the time to go over that. But going back, the biggest thing too is for attackers to vary up their approaches to make sure that the defense keeps guessing. So much room for miscommunication occurs when the attackers switch up their approaches, and if they just stay to that singular approach, like you said, the defense can acclimate.
You are absolutely right. However, it seems like we have a very solid and concentrated attack on the left of attackers' spawn from the attackers. However, they're not attacking. Looks like they're going to go for some picks with the catapult. And Hyperion is on the Mason attacking side. Those of you wondering, and we're seeing almost a full team push down the road on the left side of attacker spawn. Lots of throwing axes coming out. We see nice pheasant kill by Charles, but that is not a player kill. Now everyone engaging, but the lines of battle have broken. We're seeing lots of people break lines. However, Hyperion is quite easily taking this engagement with those 3 knights taking apart Stinker there. And lots of very, very early torches and peasants going down, Height.
Yeah, LG did the right thing there. You saw that they put their scout there. And then they had the scout back off to make sure that everyone allocated. So that was an even engagement. The difficulty was they just lost the even engagement. I saw Lobhu with the Grand Mace. He wasn't hitting anything and then got triple teamed. Solid work from Hyperion. Right now they're using a strat that or a composition that has 2 long weapons for the poking of people, like with the Grand Mace, and a very strong triple knight line. Looks like LG is going to repel their invaders, and they're actually going to be pushing up.
They've gotten quite cleaned up, Hyperion, that is. They are going to need another full spawn, another full push. Perhaps not a full... They shouldn't invest so much in that one push, and they are actually getting pushed back all the way back to their spawn by Legion. Here now, just with one knight left, however, Legion is going to hold on just for far too long. However, Schmidt takes him down with a little bit of damage to go for him.
Yeah, but I mean, that took down 2 from Hyperion. It's going to delay their push. LG is going to get their people back with plenty of time. Hyperion's going to just try and bide this time, make something out of it by putting somebody on the catapult. But all in all, push-ups like that have pretty much 0 cost for a defense, and it was a good thing for them to do. Ooh, that catapult might actually get
Ooh, very nice. That is going to set back Legion's defense quite a bit. And this is just when Hyperion needs to make their push, and it looks like they're going to do just that. Sending 3 down mid and 2 on the flank. Should be a very solid push. This could be it with only 10 peasants remaining to get. With 1 knight and 1 vanguard for Legion defending, they are not going to hold out for long. Hyperion with a fantastic attack there, taking out everyone. And they just need to kill some peasants.
Yep, they had pretty much, as soon as they got Lapu, they went down with enough time to stop Lapu from spawning and actually being a part of that. And that's going to get them that objective. But still, like I said, this objective is one where, 3 minutes is a pretty good time, but it's really not a great time.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really
absolutely.
not a crap time. It's not something that's going to impact the battle too horrifically much. This next objective is going to be a lot more telling.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you guys just saw there, but Legion had 2 guys left before Hyperion respawned, and they were sticking by the Hyperion spawn to see if they could get a pick just to delay them, but it didn't actually work out. They didn't even get a kill there, just distracted them for a little while. But as you were saying, Legion, this is an extremely influential objective. It can be the utter defeat of a team if they are not careful with their time, if they're not efficient enough with their movement of the cart.
Yeah, very interesting move here. LG has gone very low damage on their knights. They've gotten 3 different swords. That allowed Best Hacker NA, who I think is Stan, to literally just be 1v3ing, and he got hit like 3 or 4 times, but he still lived, beaten and bloodied, primarily because the knights just did not have any weapon that was substantial enough to take him down. It looks like Medi is going to take down, or is going to at least chase Russian Mafia. Russian Mafia doing the right thing and just trying to take a melee away right now.
It's good strategy.
That's all he can do.
Absolutely. Let's see what the Legion spawn is going for now. They're going to go for a slight flank on the cart here, try to get it from the side. See if that works out. They're going to clash with Hyperion's forces, but get a little bit caught between themselves, but they will win this engagement by surrounding them, and the 3 knights just utterly dominating the field. As you were saying, the Hyperion guys have a very solid base of vanguards, that triple vanguard setup. However, against a concentrated assault from those 3 knights with focused targets, they'll just get brought down.
Yeah, and it was difficult because Charles actually went in to try and get that flank ahead of his knights, though, and got taken out nearly instantly due to the overextension, due to the 1v3.
Yep.
And from there on, I mean, the heavy sword comp, light damage comp of LG is great versus vanguards. It's going to allow, that's why you actually see Stan and Medi at the top of the scoreboard. It's not too great versus knights, but it's going to be great if they can take out these vanguards really quickly, which they are doing.
And they will just completely dominate this engagement with Stinker and Russian Mafia just dominating the arena. And they are going to push up as a full team. That was a full clear from Legion. Fantastic performance.
Yep, and now they're actually, like, because they're entire 6 and they know they got the 6 wipe, they don't have to do suicide pushes on this rush. They can actually go for, like, more of a legitimate team fight.
Although Best Hacker getting a really nice headshot, and Hyperion looks like they may just take this engagement. Now, however, it is even, but they are getting onto that cart, getting some movement. Oh, Servanis, good pick there. And now just 1 Vanguard sprinting for his life.
Yeah, the spear versus spear. I mean, if I don't know why
Oh,
Whisper didn't just.
happen.
He should have just tried to attack the two people over closer to
Mhm.
that spawn and die quicker, or take one out with him. Because I
Yeah.
mean, if you're just gonna run, unless you kill that spear person on the cart really, really fast, he's gonna get back up. You're just gonna die. You're gonna desync your spawns.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Whisper single-handedly. Now you see Hyperions all grouped up together. Whisper's nowhere to be found.
Yep. Legion's only got a 5-man right now, and that is going to hurt them. However, they do get 2 very good beginning kills, and lots of fighting happening around the cart. Schmidt with a TK, though. That may just lose Hyperion this engagement, but he makes up for it very handily. However,
Whisper trying to make it work.
Shout.
Some great parrying.
Yeah, Shout fantastically parrying this Vanguard and Knight from Hyperion, but finally Schmidt will stab him in the back, and the cart will continue moving.
Holy crud, how many parries was that in a row?
I counted
How
at
did he have
least
to
6.
stand for all that?
That was incredible.
That's the other thing of Hyperion's going with a lower damage setup as well. But, I mean, again, that's resulting in less stam drain.
Yeah, Russian Mafia gets a pick on Schmidt. That is going to delay Hyperion's push for a while, but they are just going to take it. Try for the best. Facing against 3 Knights, 3 versus 4, but now a 4v2 in favor of Legion. Not going to go well for him. However, beautiful double kill for Medi. Medi going absolutely crazy. And he gets taken down by Lapu. Just not enough health to stick around.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That all stemmed. He did an incredible just ballerina thing and insta-killed 2 of them, and then the third one was just icing. Almost got the 4th, but the feint caught him out.
Thinker needs to die right now.
Ooh,
Okay.
got him.
Yeah, and Lapu needs to die super fast.
Very
That was
nice.
so risky.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
are gonna come. Yeah.
Hyperion need to take the momentum right here.
It's good to do push-ups like that are suicides some of the time, but honestly, now they're pushing. If they can get to LG before Lapu spawns, they're gonna have numbers.
Yeah.
And they got to that. Lapu just spawned though. He's actually gonna get the back because he spawned so late. So that actually ended up being decent for LG.
Yeah, they need to use their current numbers, and Hyperion just doesn't have it at the moment.
LG not exactly fighting as much on the card as they could have though. So Hyperion still did get some movement with 11 minutes left to go.
Yeah, this is a very solid time for Hyperion. If they can knock it against the gate before 10 minutes, they can still have some really decent time for the King. Because, honestly, when you get to the King with something like 10 plus minutes, if you don't get the King down within the first probably 10 minutes or so, you're not going to get him at all. And beautiful start from Hyperion in this engagement up here. They really need that. They can't let Legion slow them down. Russian Mafia with that 1 pick, but they are going to get up to the cart most likely before Legion gets a spawn.
They're also probably going to get to Russian. Killing a Russian now wouldn't be that disastrous for LG because by the time he got back up, he'd be on the oil, but it's actually lasting so long. On one hand, he's taking away 2 people. This allows LG to get a 2v2, possibly a 3v2 onto the cart.
Ooh.
So
Big
Russian
kills
lasting
from
that
Shout.
critical amount of time there, allowing LG to get the numbers.
Russian was absolutely necessary. Their Legion completely took advantage of that, and now is a 4v2, completely decimating the Hyperion, Cervantes, and Best Hacker. Very, very nice.
Now they're going to push up, and we see now they've got their throwables out for the most of them, so this is going to be a pretty strong suicide push. And if you're engaging before this in area, then you'll for sure get back up in enough time. They need to make sure that they fight here. They're waiting. I don't know what LG's waiting for. Honestly, they should have just gone in a lot sooner. But I mean, Russian's still going to pick off 1.
Yeah.
They're
But
still going to get
Hyperion-
lots of damage on the
Hyperion's going
Hyperion
to answer with
before
2.
going down.
3 now, very, very nice. Now a 2v1 on this Vanguard. And they do clear out LG, but might have been too little too late. LG's going to start respawning right about now. They've already got a Knight out. He is going to wait for the rest of his team, however. But he's going to be able to chuck throwables. They can't get to the cart. They have to wait. It's a big delay for Hyperion. They're losing time. It's now 9 minutes on the clock.
And LG knows that they have 2 underneath. That's just going to pigeonhole Hyperion's placement if they get committed to that. LG doesn't pressure that way, so this is just going to be an even engagement. But
Pills.
Pills,
Pick from Pills. That is going to mean the world in this engagement. Shout then falls up against Charles, and now we've got a 5v3, and it's just not going to happen. Great pick by Cervantes, however. but I don't know if it's going to make a difference.
Well, it already made a difference for the fact that Cervantes actually just
Beautiful
also
kill, Cervantes.
yeah.
Now
He
a
also-
2v1. He turned
Oh my
around.
gosh. And he flinched out right before he was about to get another hit onto that Vanguard too. So Cervantes single-handedly basically doing all this work.
Absolutely fantastic work. And although the Hyperion only got 1 or 2 hits against that door, they now have almost a full push here, and they're going to get some very nice progress if they can hold out. It's very dependent on whether they can hold, though. Oh, and the archer goes down, and now a 2v3 for Legion, and Legion will take it very, very nice. They need to get that card against the door.
Yeah,
Get
but
that
Russian is
progress
already
going.
onto that oil.
Yup.
And then you already have a drop down from a knight. Now, him engaging right here is really ballsy. But it works out okay for him. He actually lives long enough to get the stall. If Hyperion did a little bit more effective a teamwork right there, they could have probably taken him down a little quicker.
Most likely. In the end, Legion just dropped enough men out of the windows to get him off the cart. And now they're pushing up. Just what they should be doing.
Yeah, you see Stinker, he's the strat caller for LG. He knows when to be doing things. He knows that he's commonly the most aggressive member on LG because the less hesitation you have, the better for these suicide pushes. And so he's already going yesterday.
Yeah. Absolutely. It looks like Hyperion, as they have been doing, is not going to give too much room to Legion. Very good kill from Stinker, but not going to last.
Did you just see a catapult?
I saw a ballista fly out of nowhere. Not do too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, Hyperion's doing something very smart now. They're grouping up before just trickling in, and they're grouping up in the front after those suicide pushes. They know that LG, after those suicide pushes, they've been lagging behind a little bit, and so they're just healing up. So the suicide pushes are stalling, but they're not blockading.
Lots of solid damage from projectiles coming up from Legion. It's going to mean the world for them in this engagement. However, Hyperion starts out strong with Captain getting kills, but Legion just follows up. Even the TK is not going to slow them down. They have the momentum here. They should be able to stop Legion. However, now it is a 2v2. Oh, a 2v1 with Stinker getting that kill on Hacker. And it's going to be Legion for this engagement. And that card is not moving.
Nope, 5 minutes and 35 seconds left. They've been holding this for a while. And honestly, once you get the cart to this point, that is by far the hardest time. LG pushing up together. Stinker's a little bit ahead of everyone, though, and gets taken down early. This could prove disastrous. I'm expecting Hyperion to get a lot off of this.
Very nice. That they do. They actually don't end up with a single casualty on their way to the cart. And with a single knight guarding it, they should be able to get some solid progress right now. But Lapu, with a throwing axe out of nowhere, brings down Schnitt. And they are smashing that gate.
Meanwhile,
with a fury. This should be it right here. With the rest of Hyperion defending where they can. Oh, they will be stopped by Legion on the cart. And now a 2v1. Utterly against Hyperion, however. And Medi will go down. That cart's so close with just about a fifth remaining on it. Maybe a quarter.
Pop and Shout playing that last 2v1 enormously cautiously, and they're not rushing up like Stinker did. Just because Stinker didn't get far enough up there and got into a 1v3, didn't do damage before he died. And the most important thing is the other team, like the rest of his team, engaged before he could spawn back. So Hyperion knew that was their shot. They didn't get distracted with Russian. Now they're just going to go for a straight engagement. This is going to be a 6v6. Russian and Cervantes over on the side doing their own little archer thing. But this is a pure 6v6.
This is the engagement that will decide this cart right now. And it looks like Legion is winning it with a 4v3 currently. And Russian Mafia picking one of them. But Schmidt with a double. That could turn it around. And it does. They are going to get some good progress on this cart right here. This should be it, actually.
Yeah, and Russian misses.
He misses
that,
the oils. just a second too late. He misses them, and now 8:30 on the clock for the king.
For LG, it's all going to be about pushing up as far as possible onto this objective too. But we saw you need to push up together. If you're not pushing up together, then circumstances happen like just happened gave Hyperion that last objective. So looks like LG's got 4 into the courtyard. That's going to be an ample amount. You just want to get kills at this point. You're not trying to win the engagement even
It doesn't
necessarily.
look like they can even get that. Not a single kill to their names. Captain Schmidt with an amazing double. And Hyperion cannot be stopped. They are moving. They want this to be the push.
Difficulty is that Medi is low health. The king is going to have ample reinforcements by the time they get up. If Hyperion cut off those reinforcements, that might have actually been a decent move, but it looks like they're not going to be able to do that.
If Hyperion can get this wave, it doesn't look like they're going to. Yeah, the Knights of Legion are just going to smash themselves against the already fatigued forces of Hyperion. Now it's just a single Vanguard left. He does take down Lapper as well as another Legion member, but now he's getting 1v2'd, and he will get brought down. Very good dodging action by Russian Mafia the King. He's very slippery and slimy. Very good at getting out of those tight situations.
And here's the problem, is if you're rushing... Okay, good. They go up like that. I was going to say the problem is if you rush down on the bottom and you have a Hyperion member over at the top, then you're really not going to get a lot done.
Yeah.
Of course, drop downs are always a disadvantage
Absolutely.
too. Pop, drop down, gets instantly hit. They do get some damage out of it. Captain Schmidt going down. Captain Schmidt is so much of their damage.
And Lapa brings out the TK and is just going to damn Legion for this engagement. And now they should just secure the courtyard and just heal up. I think that'd be the best thing to do, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. By taking this courtyard, they're giving themselves a bit of a foothold. Keeps Legion from pushing up too hard.
LG is actually doing something very interesting, though. You'd think that they'd want their... I mean, they had the group up. They could have still pushed into the courtyard and still had at least an even fight, if not numbers. But now they're... This is very risky. If Hyperion wins this fight, they can get to the king.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Legion is putting all their eggs in one basket, and that may not be the best idea at the moment. 3
the
Knights, 2
leftward
Vans, though.
movement from
They've got a
Russian
wall.
is pretty good.
Yeah, Russian is moving very intelligently. He does drop down, though. May have been a mistake on his part. He's going to get accosted by at least one Hyperion member. Hyperion is winning this upper engagement quite nicely, and the king now forced to run back toward the stairs to the upper level. Oh, and it looks like his team is going to get a solid spawn, and he is going to be just fine. Stinker with that final kill.
Yeah, it would have taken a massive outplay for a Spear Vanguard to get 300 HP off of that king before he got reinforcements in a 1v1. But
bit too much to hope for.
Yeah.
And now we've got some very nice entrance. A very nice entrance from Legion here. Stinker with a great first blood and a second against Schmidt. Very nice. Just breaking through the lines. Now they are taking this courtyard. They're getting those kills. And they're delaying Hyperion to all hell. With a Vanguard and a Knight dueling the same back here. Legion is doing a fantastic job of just killing this clock for Hyperion. With only 5 minutes less than that on the clock.
And they're pushing up 4v3 right here, right into Hyperion's spawn. They're beating them bloodied, but they still know that they have numbers to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and they're doing they're going to shave off at least another 2 minutes probably before Hyperion can get a full push again. Really good mind play from Legion.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're seeing the pull hammer coming out from Charles. You're seeing the Captain Schmidt. He's been using that Grand Mace, but you're still seeing the spear coming out from Schmidt. You're still seeing the rest long swords and halberds and whatnot coming out. Cervantes actually dropping to that halberd from
From his archer, yeah, that is actually a very decent decision at this point, I'd say.
Yeah, actually Captain Schmidt has dropped the sword so that Medi can go maul.
Very smart. And it looks like both of these teams' setups is effectively mirrored, save for the king on Legion's side. We've got 3 Knights, 3 Vans on Hyperion. 3 Knights, 2 Vans, and a king on Legion.
That effectively makes it like a 4-knight comp for Legion. So
Yeah.
a bit tankier, and tankier comps are a little bit better for defense generally.
Yeah. However, they don't have a lot of versatility at the moment, and they seem to again be putting all their eggs in one basket. They have all of these forces, which are being torn apart by Hyperion over here. Finally getting traded out just ever so slightly. Pop going down, however, to Sahakar's sword. And the king having to run for his life, but he is going to survive for his team's next spawn.
Well, the important thing is that they noticed that Hyperion was weak on a side, so they took a main force and rushed that side, had the other people really just stall. Now, by the time Hyperion is able to get to the king, unless they would have lost a 1v3 versus a Vanguard, by the time they get back, LG's bitches are already going to be right back up there to reinforce.
Yeah. LG has been playing the first two objectives, maybe the first objective especially, maybe not as defensively as they could have, but this one, they are going all out. They are stonewalling.
Yeah, and that first objective, just beautiful catapult work from Hyperion is really what opened up that push. But, oh wow, Hyperion a little bit lackadaisical getting in the courtyard.
Yeah, however they do come back quickly. Medi with a great comeback on Pills and a double with Pop. And we have the 3v1 against Lap when he will just go down like a house of cards. Now Hyperion should be pushing up into the courtyard now, just securing the area, gaining map control.
Yeah, and now LG, it looks like again they're going to be conservative. They're comfortable with Hyperion's pushes. Hyperion's pushing all through the middle. That way they can spur up and try to get a pretty varied response, sending one over on that right.
Yeah.
It looks like LG's actually going to go far left.
Interesting.
And so they're going to get this 2v1 versus this Vanguard. Hyperion adapting, sending their Vanguard there. So this would actually be a 2v2. The knight or the king's actually just going to run away now, run towards their spawn.
Smart idea. Yeah, and he is going to go around the full circle now. 3 Hyperion members left, but they are too far away from the king to do anything. They're going to have to go all the way over to the other side of the map of this throne room, and that's just going to take far too long. Already the Agathians are spawning.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned with Shout's movement there. He didn't get to the king as much as he should have. But obviously
Mario.
with you have that many reinforcements, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after Agatha gets reinforced, after a full clear from Mason, this final objective, Mason just needs to pull back, lick their wounds, heal, ready for the last push. And I don't even think Hyperion's going to get a last push. There's not enough time remaining.
No, but they did get great time on those first 2 objectives.
That they did.
So there's still a good chance that they can win this.
Absolutely. Looks like Hyperion just trying to get a couple final kills. Kills the TK. Totally unapologetic. And that's going to be this first round, folks, with Legion taking it in the defense. Let's see what this second round will bring us. Now you were saying something about the catapult. You talking about the pick that Hyperion got against Pills, I believe, at the very
It was against Lapu, yeah.
It was against Lapu, sorry, yeah. Yeah, that totally opened up that whole objective for them, practically.